The streets of Baku rarely disappoint, and I tell you what, they did not disappoint today. As Oscar Piastri led home from Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Welcome back, guys, to Fall Grace. And tell you what, if you don't like F1, you're missing it. And see all these people that just latched on to the fame and the hype of F1 during the 2021 season. Yeah, you know what? You'll probably never get a good a season as that in terms of a championship battle for a lot of years. You know, you have to sit see the real F1 fans. We've sat through awful seasons. Like last year was awful compared to like what was happening this season, man. You literally don't know who's going to win. Even Sergio Perez, a guy that's been absolutely nowhere, right? The rest of this season. Looked like he could have won today. But drama. There's potential disqualifications after the race as well. Crashes, overtakes, whatever you want, man. Absolutely insane. But yeah, any more follow will make fids on it. But in terms of the race, we kicked off, pretty much a line astern. Not really too many changes. Lewis Hamilton started for the pit lane. I thought he had an absolute howler of a Grand Prix today, Lewis Hamilton. But here, I think we'll talk more about that potentially in driver ratings. But we see Lance Stroll pick up a puncture, and immediately this really helped Alonso, the two Williams, and Bierman, because it created like a 5 second gap between Shinoda and Bierman. Norris then overtook Shinoda, and then it helped him. Hulkenberg, Stroll picked up a puncture due to contact with Shinoda, which basically ruined both of their races, didn't it, at the end of the day? But then we're getting Leclerc versus Piastri. Leclerc then pulled a 6 second gap. Then we see the first rounds of pit stops come into play. George Russell pitting, Max Verstappen pitting. Those two were battling throughout the race, but Russell managed to beat Verstappen in the end. Perez pits though, but then we see Lando Norris, who's going long. He holds up Perez through the castle section, which allows Piastri to not overcut, but keep position. And then Leclerc comes out in front, but then Piastri makes very light work of Leclerc, and I was thinking, has he done too much at the tyres at this stage? You know what? I don't want to say Leclerc. It was like a lapse of concentration from Charles Leclerc here, because I feel like he didn't expect the move, but if he just blocks the door here, I think Leclerc wins this race relatively easy. I say easy, maybe not easy, but I think it would have been of a similar level to how Piastri ended up winning it by like 10 seconds. But after this, then you've got Verstappen versus Norris. You've got a great battle there. You've got Alexander Albon mixing it with the top four teams. It was great. He was running the podium positions. He pits, and then he overtakes Bierman, Hulkenberg, Colapinto. Hamilton struggling at this stage. Alonso's just doing his own race, running in P8. Verstappen's having an absolute shocker. Norris then pits, goes on to the mediums. We have about 14 laps to go. He reels the gap in, overtakes Verstappen. Leclerc, man, it was just about 30 odd laps of Leclerc trying to get past Piastri, all these different lines. But Baku is hard to overtake. But then his tyres go off at this stage. You've got Perez sniffing down his neck. You've got Sainz breathing down his neck. You're like, holy moly, how's this race going to end? Then we get to lap 50. Perez overtakes Leclerc, but Leclerc dives back down the inside. Then into turn 2, Sainz is past Perez. They exit and they crash. Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz are in the wall. Honestly, for me, it's a racing incident, right? But I get it. I actually feel sorry for Perez, because he has smoked Verstappen all weekend, which is something you just don't say all that often. And he's been let down here by a crash. This crash does nothing for the title, because Norris was still going to pull the same amount of points as he did prior to it. But for me, I think Perez has just got to avoid this. Sainz doesn't really move. Sainz is going to follow the slipstream of the guy ahead. That's what he does. I think if blame's going to land with one guy, it's got to be Sergio Perez. But for me, I don't think either really deserves a penalty. It's just one of those things that you see in Formula One. That brings it to VSC. Crucially, though, for the championship, Max Verstappen pitted as soon as this crash happened to go on the softs, so he couldn't take the point off of Lando. So Lando increases by 3. Piastri wins from Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Verstappen, Alonso, Albon, Colapinto, Hamilton, and Ollie Bierman. So Ollie Bierman getting points again in his F1 debut for Haas. Got points earlier this season for Ferrari, of course. And Colapinto picking up 4 points. Absolutely justifies his decision to Williams' decision to get rid of Sargent to bring in Colapinto, guys. But there's a few drivers under investigation, Hulkenberg, Gasly, etc. But Max Verstappen is under investigation. I tell you what, if he gets disqualified and loses 10 points, that closes the gap to 49. And I think if this happens, Lando Norris, it was almost unthinkable from yesterday. And the championship, I mean, Piastri and Leclerc winning just closes those two right up in the championship as well. But I do feel sorry for Carlos Sainz and Perez. You know, both drove very good races, especially Sergio Perez compared to his teammate. So unfortunate for them guys. But here, this was a great race. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It had everything you wanted. You know, it didn't need to be an overtaking fest, but you know, it was a freeway battle for the lead because Perez was there or thereabouts. But anyway, guys, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Really, really enjoyed it, and peace.